hi on stream. Hi. I thought I'd do a few more puzzles today. Okay. So let's click start. White to play here. Oh, this looks tricky. Okay. Actually, I'm not sure the screen's completely correct. I don't know what happened to the screen here. Why is it like that? Intriguing. Did I zoom it or something? No. maybe that'll do anyway. It's okay. Okay, so knight f5 check. If knight takes, rook g8 is mate. If g takes, though, I'm not seeing it. Possibly, actually, there's another way. Yeah, there's actually another quite dangerous move here. Yeah, there's a really dangerous move here. I think f5. What do you guys think about? But I'm going to put the suggestion f5. Because I think knight f5, g takes is the snag. You think rook g8 check there? If rook g8 check, knight takes g8. So I think f5 threatens f6. Checkmate. If g takes, I think we can play knight takes f5 check. Oh, hang on, that's not clear cut. King g6. What does knight takes d6? I'm going to go with f5. Oh, that is the move. I think knight takes f5 check. Yeah, we just mate here. Okay. I think let's try the computer on that. So f5. There are a few checks to throw in. Oh, there. That's annoying, isn't it? Oh, that's more. That is more than annoying. Oh, I think I've just messed up with this check. Maybe it's here. And then here. This is more than annoying, isn't it? This check is more than annoying. What about knight c1? Then there's no point. Okay, king d2 for knight c. No, there's no. Knight here? Is that way? This is getting techie. Then there's king g6. Okay, anyway, yeah, so maybe that's not great, that one. On to the next one. Yeah, there's a lot of checks there. There's a lot of counterplay. Bishop e3 check. Bishop e4. Bishop e3 check seems plausible, but bishop e4 might even be better to threaten bishop e3. Yeah, maybe bishop e4 is the way to go, to take some escape squares. That might be the way to go, bishop e4 here. What do you guys think about bishop e4? Actually, on g5, I think we take, and then bishop g7 is checkmate there. So bishop e4 seems really dangerous. I think I'm going to try bishop e4. Alright, that is. Now, check. Yeah, just check. Quite straightforward, that one. Okay, that's fairly clear cut. It would seem fairly clear cut. Let's see. Don't think there should be too much resistance from the evil computer. On bishop e4. Ah, there is some resistance. Why not? It's a move. I think king f7 here might be the way forward. It's not as clear cut as the other continuation, but white certainly looks very good here. It's winning for white anyway. Okay. This is from a Fischer game, I believe. Or it looks like it could be from a Fischer game. No, actually, it's a lot more straightforward, I think, than the Fischer game. No, it's actually really straightforward combination. I think this is really straightforward. I hope you can all see it. See what happened to my presentation actually. Was this really the one I was using before? View details ordered by date. Just while backdrop puzzles. For some reason. Don't know. Okay. Anyway. What I could do, just so let's just adjust something here for a moment, which is slightly bugging me. That's a bit better. Alright, I think I see a very clear-cut continuation. that forcing move, there's a very, very powerful forcing move here. Can you all see it? I hope you can all see it. It's just very, very non-controversial. i.e. there's no potential for controversialness. Any downsides, you know, it's all upside without any controversy, except you do have to give up your queen. That invokes a double check, and then rook h8. It's so clear cut. I think we could even beat the computer from this position. I don't think there's any resources available to defend even the strongest computer from this position. We can beat the computer. It's so clear cut. It's neat. It's neat. If we there actually doesn't seem to be any other things to do here. Really, we don't want to take a risk. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about that really. Okay. Black to play. Okay, well, there's a very tempting move here. Very, very tempting move yeah, it's too hard to ignore. There is a kind of forcing move which would seem very useful, yeah, indeed. So the one I'm looking at, what do you think the forcing move I'm looking at is? I hope you can read my mind here. I'm just thinking there's only one decent forcing move to check out, which could be used to help construct a checkmate. Yes, I'm really missing something. Actually, it could be the case I'm missing something fundamental. Actually, I think I am now. I think I found the stronger one. I think I found the stronger move than what I was originally looking at, which makes the pieces, the celebration of the coordination is stronger actually. The coordination, celebration rather, is stronger than the initial move I was looking at by some way actually. It seems to be the final destination for centralization, the configuration to aim for in terms of central pieces is stronger maybe on this initial move, the final centralization to settle on, to try and weave a mating net around the white king. There might be a move which is stronger than what you might be extremely tempted by. So what do you guys think? Knight f2 was the move I was originally looking at, attacking the rook, and I was thinking, well, that's quite dangerous, but there's a big but to that. If the knight's ending up on h3, it's not central when it ends up on h3, and how would we construct a mate in there? That's what I switched the tension later to knight d2. Although that's not immediately hitting anything, knight f3 seems shockingly effective because king h1, rook h2 is mate, and king f1, you know, after knight f3, there's king g3 threatening rook f2 checkmate. The knight ends up in a more central location if we run with knight d2 first. The bishop can't stop the knight coming to f3. What do you guys think of knight d2 here as opposed to knight f2? This is interesting. I think when we think about central pieces, maybe sometimes we don't think like that about our tactics, how central the pieces end up. and how strong that resulting attack is. But here, yeah, knight d2 just seems to be more. There's more potential, it seems, to knight d2 for me. But I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen something else. Maybe there's something else. There's no other knight move I might have missed. I think knight d2. I think because on f3 in this particular situation, it's helping shield the king to go into g3, which is opposition. So it actually facilitates basically opposition as well in that final destination. It facilitates the king g3, creating opposition, which in terms of mating the opponent's king is also very useful. It takes away a lot of escape squares if we have the king in opposition. Yeah, should we go with knight d2 then? Yeah, knight d2. It's not the correct move after all that. Okay, knight f2. Okay, there's something clever about knight f2. Yeah. Oh, right, we get the opposition here anyway. Oh, king f3. Oh, that makes sense. King f3. No, it doesn't. King g3. Crikey. Getting this all wrong. All wrong. No idea now. King f3. How to get this all wrong? Knight e4 maybe for rook c1. The check. I'm in total guess mode now. Gain the rook. Opposition again. I think I've tried that, haven't I? I tried king. Oh, rook c1, yeah. Let's have a look at that then. Mason against Hebden. Knight f2. He goes king g3. Okay, so he's threatening the mate. So there's not too many choices for white. King f3 threatening the mate. And then king e3 wins the rook. That is clever because actually... Okay. Got that wrong. Let's see that against the computer. Is that going to work against the computer as well? Knight f2. Computer gives up the exchange. Let's go 1 second to move and undo. Gives up the exchange. 0. You're not throwing a check. It's not throwing in the check. I'm gonna force it to do something else somehow. Nope, it's not having this. It's only considering rook h3. Oh well. That's okay. Oh, that had me stumped. I was thinking positional considerations. Maybe they're not worth that much. It's pretty forced here. It's pretty forced to get the rook there. Maybe it's like more of a tactical liability. It's not about centerpiece. It's more of a tactical liability. Then it's literally just threatening mate and threatening a mate again. Yeah, it's creating that tactical liability. That okay, that's pretty clever stuff. Little subtle stuff. Wow. Mm. Ah. Mm. No, not convinced by anything yet. Ah, no, I think I've seen something quite interesting, fairly interesting. I've seen a move which is fairly interesting here, which, yeah, it seems pretty forcing, uh, really forcing, really forcing. Kind of like the look of it. Yes, I'm convinced it's fairly. It looks fairly crushing. There's a move here which looks fairly crushing. I was looking at rook c6, but I don't think it's that. There's a more kind of forcing move than rook c6. Rook c6 has some nice ideas, like rook h6, but there's something which is really forcing. Yeah, I'm looking at some forcing moves. Yeah, Rekka. I'm looking at rook b7 because I'm thinking it's hitting. It's like a fork, isn't it? It's hitting b8 and b6, and if takes, rook c8 check. And what does black do? Just give up the queen. We just play if queen f8. We just play queen h7 checkmate. Queen h7 is forcing, but rook b7 is more to do with exploiting this back row. We've already got some escape squares of the king cut off. We've got h8 and h7 escape squares cut off, so the king's sort of half checkmated. Sort of, if you look at that, 3, 4, there are 4 squares, 2 occupied, 2 controlled. So the king's kind of half checkmated, isn't it? There's only like 1 escape square, and in fact, it's the back row which would seem to be the Achilles heel here. So rook b7 is tapping into that just to get a check here, because we've got so many escape squares, covered already. So rook b7 does seem like it's really cool. I think, would you all agree, rook b7 looks super cool. Doesn't give black a breathing chance to do anything. I think rook takes f5, rook takes b8 check. Yeah, I can't find any answer to rook b7. Myself, yeah. So we'll go with rook b7, yeah? Alright, still we got the back row. We can take and then rook c8. We get onto that back row. Cool. I think we can beat the computer with rook b7. Let's see what evil resources exist in the position. Oh, that gives up the bishop. Alright, we can switch the rook over here now. Surely. And this is just going to be, it's going to be all over, surely. It's pretty winning, as winning goes. It's winning anyway, it's bishop up. Okay, no need to carry on there. Especially if you're not playing in computer, it's bishop up generally is enough. So white's play here. Okay. Okay. E5 does look good. E5 looks good, yeah. It's better than what I've been thinking. Like E5, yeah. Try and get in Queen F6. So if E5, Queen takes, King takes, we'll just take the rook. E5 looks, there's no checks or anything. Let's imagine Queen C5. It looks as though just Queen F6. Or what would you play to Queen C5? Let's play E5. So Queen C5 is played. Oh, Queen F6, King D7. Oh. Oh. Oh, I think I've seen something neat. Yeah. I think I've seen a pretty neat idea. Queen F6, King D7. There's a really neat idea in that position. I wonder if you guys can see it. I think this must be the first bit. There's a really neat idea here. Sorry, I might have given a clue just then. Can you see white's play here? White's play. There's something super crushing. Super crushing? Can you see it? Yeah. Super crushing. E6, 500 points if you saw that. Because if king takes, there's queen checkmate here. Yeah. Let's have a look. See that? That pawn is taking some escape squares. Let's play the computer there to show that. E5. I wonder why the queen's been given up there. That's interesting. Just have that position. Okay, it would rather do that. Okay. E6 is the brutal one. Yeah, we could take it. Wait, did it want to check over here or something? Okay. Black's play. So black's coming down. Down. Board. No, hang on. No. Black's going up the board. Yeah. We're going up the board. So this one's the queen. Yeah, that one's the queen. Oh, that's nice. I've seen something which is actually I'm not even sure anymore now. Oh no, if it's what I think it is, it's pretty spectacular. It's pretty spectacular. What? Okay, remember, look, so bishops, this is on e4, that's e4, this is d2. We're going up the board, I think, to try and promote one of these two pawns, yeah? So, coordinates, can you try and get the coordinates right here for your suggestion? There's no, oh, bishop d3, first candidate, I see. Bishop d3, doesn't that just allow rook takes, oh I see, you want a queen over there? Okay, bishop d3. Ah. Maybe. Bishop d3. So we think bishop d3. Rook takes. This one seems to be queening. Does seem to be queening. Can't see that much wrong with bishop d3. Maybe that is the move. I was thinking, actually, bishop e3, this is outrageous, because if takes here, I thought h2, but maybe just takes there, and yeah, I thought bishop e3, because if it takes here with the bishop, d1, no, but in that case, there's bishop c5 check, it doesn't even work. So yeah, I think bishop d3. Oh, you meant bishop d6. Oh man, this does me in a bit. I think there's a lot of merit to bishop d3, you know, bishop d3 as opposed to this one to d3 as opposed to this one to d6. There seems to be a lot of merit to bishop d3. Should we take a vote? Bishop d3 or bishop d6? So light square bishop to d3 or dark square bishop to d6. How is bishop d3 actually refutable? I can't get it myself. Sorry, I can't get how bishop d3 is refuted. Because rook takes d3, I can imagine h2, and how does... No, sorry, h2, bishop takes h2. Sorry, yeah. Oh, God. Bishop d3. Yeah, there's no h2, we just played bishop c7 takes h2. Okay, pardon me. that clears that one up. For some reason, okay, so bishop e3 creates an interference on both this diagonal and this file. If we play bishop e3, we've got that interference, which means rook takes e3, we've interfered with that diagonal. So we play h2, which means that white cannot stop both pawns. White could throw in a check and take one, but then that one queens. Now bishop takes e3, we queen. So bishop d3 is not so good because we just take that, and h2 we just take. Okay, it's clear now, I think, that bishop e3 is a nice interference tactic. Yeah? Okay, that is the one. I think h2 here, and then we queen here. Alright, so let's play the computer. Any cunning resources flipboard. Oh. Well, in this case... Oh. That's different. I think we just win this position. Yeah, that's a winning position anyway. She was being mean. We'd win this rook and win that. Okay, we'd be winning with the two bishops. So let's undo the moves there. So as mentioned, bishop d3, I think white just takes. And then just takes, yeah. For some reason that, yeah. Okay, that didn't immediately click with me. I had dinner recently, that's my excuse. Oh dear, beef cake, whatever, beef, whatever, okay. The white to play here. Okay, white to play. No, yeah, I see something now. I see something now, which looks fairly interesting, at least at first sight. Yes, yes, yes. I see something. I see something. I do. Hope you guys have seen it. Okay, I think we need to deflect that g7 square just to try and take everyone with this. So the dream scenario is if the bishop was not defending g7, because actually the knight on e8 with the queen, they're eyeing g7. So we want to checkmate on g7. So how do we facilitate queen g7 checkmate? So I hope you've all seen it now. If this is the idea, which I believe it might be. Well, I hope it's the idea. Yeah. So if rook takes d6, trying to deflect the bishop, you see, queen g7. And if queen takes, then we have knight takes d6. So it looks as though rook takes d6 is actually viable, fully viable here. So bishop takes, we have queen g7. On a queen move somewhere else, well, we can well, we're just going to take this rook. This seems very, very forcing. Trying to deflect that bishop away from g7. Would you all agree? Rook takes d6 looks pretty crushing here. Rook takes d6 looks pretty crushing to me. So I think we'll go with rook takes d6, yeah? Unless there's any objection. I hope you've all visualized that. We're going to go with rook takes d6. This seems pretty clear. You don't get it? Well, look. The knight is protecting d6 as well. So rook takes d6. The bishop comes off this diagonal, which is protecting currently g7. So bishop takes. Then we go in with the queen to g7, where it's protected by the knight. Yeah? See that? Well, I'll put it on the board. Rook takes d6. Let's see. I think it's the move anyway. See, the bishop has created that fundamental, that weakness of the last move. We go queen g7. Yeah? Let's play the computer there to see. I think we could even beat the computer from this position. I don't know what the computer's going to come up with. Look, evil resources. And if we went there, h1, so we've got to block the pawn. Computer gives up the queen. So we would be winning this, I believe, after winning the queen. No need to carry that on. Computer's too evil. I don't want to carry it on. But rook b8 loses there. I don't want to embarrass myself carrying on. It's just winning for white there. If you were playing someone normal, and hopefully you'd be able to finish them off from there. So okay, as long as it's not a computer, you can finish them off from there. Okay, black to play. I think I've seen this quite quickly on this occasion. I've seen the idea fairly quickly. There's a powerful forcing move in this position. Powerful. I hope you've all seen it. The king is already sort of checkmated, because you imagine two squares it's locked out of already. We're covering two escape squares already. So in fact, the only escape squares we're not covering is D1. We're actually covering D3. So if you look at the escape squares, we've got near full coverage of the escape squares. There's only D1, which is, you know, the one which is, yeah, not taken. So the king's half checkmated. Well, you know, 90% checkmated. No, more than 50. I don't know how to say it. Nearly checkmated already. Ready for being checkmated. No. Let's stop that. So anyway, I see a forcing move which is pretty crushing here. So you might want to prioritize checks. They say that is common advice. Prioritize the checks, because if you don't play a check when there is a check, you might give. Prioritize the checks. Here is my advice. Even outrageous ones, give priority to the outrageous checks. Yeah, and look at, while you're doing this, look at all the escape squares. There's only that D1 escape square which is needed, because the king's kind of self-checkmated already. Alright, so rook takes e4 check. If takes, there's bishop g4, checkmate, which leaves bishop e3. Now on bishop e3, that seems desperate. It does lose a piece. Seems desperate. I think we could safely just take that and say we're a piece up. So I would say rook takes e4 check is strong here. No? Rook takes e4. Would you all agree rook takes e4? Yeah? We'll go with rook takes e4. Now let's see the evil computer. I think it just puts the bishop in the way. Evil computer will just put bishop in the way to avoid that. No, it does that. Oh, I see. Yes, never occurred to me. It's exploiting the fact that the bishop's not covering c2. Never occurred to me. Never occurred. Funny enough. Still, it's winning for black. Surely, it's winning for black. I think we just pick up a piece with, say, this check. Maybe not that. Right, no, actually, there's a different way. We pick up material with bishop takes, at least. So that's going to be winning anyway. We can just leave that bishop pinned. Okay, we leave that bishop pinned. It's going to be winning. No need to prove that. Okay, further. Oh, I've seen something kind of naughty. Yeah. I've seen some naughty business here already. Yeah, I've seen some naughty business. Have you guys seen it? There's a forcing move here, which has implications for the, I don't know if I want to give too much due clues wise, but the back row of black potentially is weak here with this forcing move. I would say, yeah, you would need to look into rook takes e6 here, because if f takes e6, there's bishop takes e8, and if rook b takes e6, then that's one less piece protecting b8. So rook takes e6 again, and if f takes again, we play bishop takes e8. So if queen takes, there's nothing defending b8. So we see then that queen b8 check looks devastating, because the king's got no escape. There's no queen e8. Nothing. It looks as though rook takes e6 is non-controversial. In fact, pretty non-controversial overall. Gives up a bit of material short term, but it's crushing. Hang on a sec. Am I right in saying that? Maybe I'm not. Yes, I am. Because if rook takes, the queen can't take. If the queen moves, great. We've just won a key pawn. We've won a key pawn, and probably after that, surely something is nice going to happen after that. e.g. rook f6. So I think we're going to go with rook takes e6. Okay. Yep, rook takes e6. Right, now I thought here initially rook f6 I thought was dangerous. I see. No, there's a really crushing move in this position, this sub-puzzle part, which seems truly crushing here. Yeah. What would you do to celebrate f7 in this position? My first thought, rook f6, is actually seemingly ineffectual almost compared to this other move here. So white to play in this position. How would you make sure you can hammer through to f7? Any ideas? I think I've seen the move to try and overload black. Oh, maybe there's two moves actually. Hilbush, bishop e7 is a fascinating move. I didn't consider, but maybe you're right. Bishop e7, because if f takes e6, queen f8 is checkmating. Maybe bishop e7 is pretty concise. Let's see, bishop e7. What about queen e8 though? I don't know. Is a cold shower move queen e8, bishop e7? Because then actually we've gone into a self pin. Actually, we've gone into a self pin there. Maybe we've gone into a self pin, or maybe it doesn't matter because of, say, rook b6. In which case, queen takes e7, rook b8 check is still crushing. Rook takes e7. Anyway, I thought here just. I thought here, what's wrong with just rook e7 here? Rook e7. No? Rook d6, I wouldn't have thought, actually, because that's got knight takes d6 to it. If you play rook c6, oh, I see, rook's, oh, wow. Rook c6, huh? Maybe rook c6, there's queen e8. What's wrong with, as effective moves go, why wouldn't you say rook e7 isn't effective? Because I can't quite see why rook e7 isn't effective. If takes bishop e7, queen e8, maybe bishop takes f7, queen takes f7, queen b8. Isn't rook e7 an effective move here? Rook c6, queen e8. What's wrong with rook e7? Maybe there's more than one way of skinning the cat. But for me, rook e7's got a few things going for it. It interrupts the f7 protection. On rook takes e7, bishop takes, I don't see how black is defending f7. In fact, there's no knight d6 because we can play bishop takes d6. There's no queen e6 because we play queen b8. I would say rook. I'm going to go with rook e7 here. It's not the correct move. I thought it looked good anyway. Okay. Should we go with bishop e7 then? Let's try bishop e7. All right. I thought this was the self pin line, but no, there's no self pin. Sorry. I get it. There's no self pin. The self pin is slaughtered. Yeah, I get it. It's slaughtered. Yeah, white's playing slaughter here. Okay. We'll check. I think the other one might be winning as well. Rookie 7 might be winning as well. But here, there's definitely a knockout punch. Yeah, there's a knockout blow in this position. Can you see? There's a knockout blow here. Doesn't matter about the self pin. Yeah, we just deflect the queen away from b8. Bang. Let's have a look at rook e7 just out of interest. So here, say rook e7. That's hopeless for black. Come on, that's going to be hopeless anyway. I suppose it's more incisive to play bishop e7. Well, it's still the same sort of thing anyway. In fact, after knight d6, isn't it? Like, get a bit almost. There's no actual real difference. Okay, both of them were good there. Let's go on to the next puzzle. Okay. This seems pretty. There's a pretty strong looking move. Immediately catching attention here. Immediately. Yes. But there's a move that immediately catches attention, and I think almost a fourth mate. So yeah, the move which immediately catches attention, you've seen it as well, yeah, is this forcing move to get the queen into the attack. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I wasn't expecting that as the defensive try. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I was thinking that there'd be more stubbornness. Let's have a look. We can rely on the computer for stubbornness with king g8, yeah? Nope, apparently not. 5 seconds a move. It's refusing to play king g8. I wonder why. Let's just see this rook plays that now. That's pretty direct. Alright, okay, let's go on to the next one. Oh. No. Yeah, this looks as though there should be something nice. Don't immediately find this conclusive as I'd want it to be. Don't know about you guys. I'm looking at queen takes e6, doesn't work. F takes doesn't work. Knight g6, queen g6, knight g6, king e8. You see, we give the king e8. If we play knight g6 first, fg, knight g6, queen g6, can't see conclusiveness immediately. Myself. Knight hg6, then knight e6, fg, knight e6, king f7. Oh, I hate this. I can't see it. Knight hg6, fg, knight takes e6, there's king f7. King f7. Oh god, this annoys me. Queen takes d5. I can't see how that's working. ED. I don't see how that's working. Annoying. I don't know. Has anyone seen something totally concrete? Oh, okay. I think I might have almost something. No, I'm not sure. Knight hg6, fg, knight g6. Isn't that queen takes g6? Knight hg6 fg. If you play knight takes g6, then isn't that queen takes g6? What I'm thinking is, by the way, the closest I'm thinking to something quite nice might have been knight hg6, fg, knight f takes e6, king f7. In this position, there's the cute knight d, almost cute, knight d8 check, almost cute. So if bishop takes d6, there'll be queen g6 check, with the idea that if the king, well, maybe goes to f8, there's knight e6, the king goes there, queen takes e8. The thing is about this, it's not really this position, knight d8, king f8, then I'm struggling again. Oh, torture. It's torture for me. Okay, because it doesn't seem to have a cute ending. No. Ah, oh, it's a pain. Still a pain. As much as it was when I first looked at this, this is as much a pain now as then. To be honest. Something interesting begins with queen takes e6, you think? Don't see it. Don't see it. Queen takes e6. Queen takes e6 from black. F takes. You're giving the king e8. This is the pain of it. You're giving the king e8. Surely. On knight f g6, we're giving the king f7. So I can only imagine fg. So knight hg6. At least we retain in our hands knight f takes e6. So knight hg6, fg. Knight takes on e6, king f7. I can only think knight d8 check there might have some cleverness. King f8. Then I don't see the cleverness. Don't see it at all. Annoys me. Maybe it's a faulty thing. Should we just guess? Should we just guess? Please. Okay, let's put the votes in. Okay, let's put the votes and play the vote move. Yeah. I will set a vote here. I will set a vote. Yeah, move bot, and we'll play vote. Okay, so knight f takes e6, comma knight f g6 check, comma knight h g6 check, comma queen takes e8, comma queen takes d5, comma knight f5, comma other. Set the votes. Let's get it wrong together. I don't know. I haven't got anything conclusive from this. If there's some secret elegance here, I've missed it. I can't imagine queen e6, knight h g6. Because you can just play queen takes g6. You're just losing all your pieces. It's torture. It's torture. I gotta say, this is just torture. Right, we're going to start guessing now. Do you guys just want to vote? Do you want to vote? Bishop e7. Bishop e7. That's got something going for it, hasn't it? Queen takes e7. We've got knight g6. King takes. I don't see what king takes offers. Please, just do the vote. I'm going to go to Lou. Do the vote. Do the vote. Okay? I'll be back in a minute. It's torturing me, this one. Torturing me. Oh, oh. Guessing. Someone subscribe, thanks. I want to start guessing. I'm going to start guessing. I'm going to show the results. Moobot, poll, close. There was only one vote. Okay, start guessing. Was it knight hg6? Nope. Knight e6? Nope. Knight fg6? Nope. Queen e6? Queen e6. Oh, this is an anticlimax, isn't it? No, it's not a bloody anticlimax. I bloody see it now. I bloody see it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Now I get it. I get it. Do you guys get it? It wins material. I didn't see this at all. What wins material? It's difficult to visualize. Can you see the move which is winning material? Yeah. I couldn't visualize this. We take time out to play knight fg6, king f7. We take the rook. We leave the knight on h8. The knight's usually dim on the rim. This is super dim, but it's also super good this knight, because after king f8, it's controlling half of the key escape squares, 1/3, a large percentage on h8, which means that actually, with the f7 escape square covered, knight g6 compels black to give up the queen. I didn't see this. This knight on h8 is covering from h8 a key escape square to make knight g6 more effective. I think it only works with this. Let's just check. If it was knight hg6, king f7, knight takes, we'd be going round and round, or is it the same thing? It seems to work the other way as well. Oh, does it matter what knight? Doesn't matter what knight, I think. Either knights, just taking and then going to g6 after either knight. Okay, it's just nightmare. Okay. I think it's either knight, to be honest. Alright, that is a bit of an anticlimax. Let's have a look on Play the Computer. Well, that's just, we win the rook there, so with the exchange up. Let's try again. Oh, do we have to put it to 0? Go on, please just take with the pawn. It immediately wants to take that. It doesn't want to suffer this knight on h8. That's really typical computers. They don't want to suffer immediately with. Okay, can we get it to 2 seconds a move? Just leave the knight on h8. Come on, king f7. Nope. Okay. Don't then. It's always going to take on g6, isn't it? Okay, okay. I'll put it on here. I'll put it on here. What am I putting on here? Not that one. Alright, that one, yeah, we will just take here in that case. And that would be good, winning the rook. So if f takes, we go here. Now leave this here, takes. And the idea with that controlling f7, knight g6 compels queen g6. So we do get the queen back with the exchange up, thanks very much. And I don't think it mattered if it was the other knight. I don't think it mattered which knight. It could have been this. Does it matter? Does it matter at all? As long as one of the knights is on h8, the other one coming to g6 just wins the exchange. I don't see how that matters, which knight. If it's f or h, no, it's no consequence. It's the same thing. Okay. Alright. Not a total anticlimax. I expected it to be somewhat anticlimax there, because I couldn't see anything wonderful. Here I do see something pretty good and crushing pretty immediately. Hope you can as well. It's pretty conclusive, pretty non-controversial, pretty forcing. Yes, it's easy in other words. Okay, it's encouraging. Sometimes it's nice to be encouraged. So can you all see a crushing, forcing move? Yeah. Yeah. It looks as though the king's completely ripped apart. with rook takes h7, king takes, queen h5 check, king g7, rook d7 check, king f8, queen f7 checkmate, or if the king went back, queen h7 checkmate. So let's just put that in. I think we could even beat the computer without too much fuss. It's so non-controversial. It's unbelievable. I'm sure we could beat the computer here. Pretty clear cut. Aha. This has, I feel this might have the potential to have some trickiness to it. Maybe not that much trickiness, a tiny bit of trickiness. Yeah, a tiny bit of trickiness. Not that much. Okay. Well, I feel I see something which is... oh, no? Yeah? Yeah. No, maybe. Maybe some of you might not immediately see what I'm saying, I guess. It's possible. Maybe what I'm saying is not correct. I would say that there's a forcing move with Queen e3 in particular. Actually, I'm starting not to be convinced by my continuation here. Queen e3. Let me ask about King g2. If you think Queen e3, King g2, how would things progress after King g2? Queen e3, King g2. You see, that's what has attracted me. You're right, Hillbush. What I was initially attracted to myself was Queen e3, King g2, Bishop f1, because if King takes f1, there's Queen f2. However, what about in that position there's King takes g3? So Queen e3, King g2, Bishop f1, check. There's King takes g3. Oh, maybe just Queen. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Maybe just Queen g1 check there. Queen g1 check. Yeah. Then if King h4, there's Queen g5 checkmate. Yeah, it seems this is fairly non-controversial now. We found the avenues of non-controversialness. Queen e3 check, King g2, Bishop f1. It seems that King takes g3, which I was initially concerned with, falls to quite easily to Queen g1 check. If King h4, Queen g5 is checkmate. So Queen e3. If King h1. Alright, so King h1 to work out next. Well, again, Queen E1, King G2, Bishop F1 is looking strong. So, yeah, would you all agree Queen E3? Anyone disagree with Queen E3 to start off with? Any disagreement about Queen E3 as the first move? If you want to speak now. Okay, we're going to go with Queen E3. Right, I would say the only controversy of this next forcing move is giving up an entire bishop. If we're going to accept giving up material, because it does seem to do the business, is Bishop F1. Because the thing is, on Bishop F1, if King H2, we have G2 check as well. And then if King H2, we have G1 queening. So it seems Bishop F1, I can't see what's wrong with Bishop F1. King takes, we have Queen G1, King H4, we have Queen G5. Bishop F1, anyone disagree? Bishop F1. Yeah? We're going to go with Bishop F1, yeah? Why not Queen F2? That's a good question. There's an answer, I think. On Queen F2, I would say there's a little bit of controversy in terms of the king escaping with King H3, because if Bishop F1 then there's King G4, and actually, you know, we're threatened ourselves immediately being mated with Queen H7 checkmate in this position. So Queen F2, King H3, not only is the king escaping, potentially, we're getting mated ourselves. Yeah, would you say? Bishop F1 looks non-controversial to me. I'm going to go with Bishop F1. So Queen G1, Queen G5. Cool. I think we could even beat the computer there. So we'll go Queen E3, Bishop F1, Queen G1. Okay, nice to beat the computer. Good training. And if we went with, yeah, sorry. Oh, busted. So that's how to get that message. I was wondering how to get that message. Yeah. The king would escape. What have I done? What have I done? Undo. Behave yourself. Check. Let's start again. Play against the computer. Queen E3. Queen F2. Bishop F1. And when the king's there, we're threatened with Queen H7. Our hopes and dreams shattered. I think this is just losing. We're just going to end up running out of material. The king's going to come into the position. Okay. Okay. So sometimes it's necessary to really sacrifice material, it seems. Not only is it non-controversial, if you don't sacrifice material, it becomes controversial. I mean, stating the obvious. In chess is a nasty game, isn't it? You sometimes have to sack a bishop. Nasty. Nasty, nasty game we're dealing with. Okay. So this position. Oh, okay. something pops out immediately, but I can't immediately see how it wins. But it definitely warrants investigation, as it's a forcing sequence. It warrants investigation. D6, D6, Bishop D6, Rook D6, Queen D6, Knight C4. I'm looking at D6. I'm not quite sure of the follow-up, yeah, but D6 clearly has got some stuff of interest. However, also Knight F5, coming to think about it, might be interesting as well. Maybe on Knight F5 there's Bishop D6. D6 also affords, after Bishop D6, Knight D5. Now, whether Knight D5 does anything or not, maybe it does, because, for example, Queen C6, we can just take that queen off. And after Knight takes C6, we have Knight B6 hitting A8, with also D6 hanging. So this little maneuver is very greedy and materialistic, but it involves D6, Bishop D6, Knight D5, going to B6 after Queen C6. We play Queen C6. And if DC6, we play Rook D6. So if Queen C6, we play Knight C6, we play Knight B6. The Rook's attacked, D6 is attacked. I don't see how Black avoids material loss. Now, D6, Bishop D6, Knight D5, Queen B7, on the other hand, is a different ball game. So maybe I'm totally wrong. Could be totally wrong. Oh, D6 and Knight F5. You're right, there doesn't seem to be any answer. There's no answer, is there? To D6, Bishop D6, Knight F5. There's no answer. The bishop can't return home to E7. The bishop can't be protected. You're right, there's no answer. On Knight C4, it could go to E7. On Knight D5, there seems to be Queen B7. And what we've done is actually interrupted our own rook on D1. It seems simple and cruel. D6, as pointed out, simple and cruel is we're not interrupting our rook. So this is a tactic which involves not interrupting our own pieces, but applying even more pressure to a fragile piece. So that does tick the box. D6, Bishop D6. I can't see any answer at all to Knight F5. That is totally crystal clear, it seems, at this moment. Yeah. For some reason, I think... Is it wrong? Now, I'm going to ask something. Is it wrong to have calculated Knight D5 fundamentally? Even if Knight D5 turns out not to be the best move? I think on Knight D5 there was Queen B7 and that's it. But I think I might have been correct to assume... Maybe I'm correct to assume that Queen C6 would be losing material to Queen C6, Knight C6, Knight B6. Yeah, but okay, I think we're all agreed, aren't we? that there's a black hole here for the black pieces after d6. Bishop takes d6, knight f5. There's no coming back from that, is there? I don't know. Should I feel ashamed that I didn't see knight f5 before looking at knight? I don't know if that's an interesting question. You know? Doesn't knight d5 reflect the idea you sometimes want to centralize pieces and see what happens? Okay, all right, d6. So let's take a vote. Anyone for knight d5? Anyone? I think we're all for knight f5 now. It's sick. It's sick, isn't it? Knight f5. It's simple and sick. Simple and sick. Knight f5 creates a black hole. Black's gonna be losing all his material down this black hole. Knight d5, for some reason it just doesn't work, because we've actually basically with knight d5 we've inflicted damage on our own pieces with that interruption. We've done a self-interruption tactic for that d6, which is the point of the exercise, try and win. So in terms of trying to win d6, this is actually defeating the point of the exercise. So knight f5. Well, let's just run that through the computer, what I calculated anyway, which had partial success. See, I think the move is queen b7, which the computer pounces on immediately, saying, ha ha ha, you've just interrupted the bishop being attacked, and I'm not losing the bishop. However, if we put it on 0 seconds a move, will it even consider queen c6? 0? No, not even at 0. This is the trouble with i7s. Not even give them 0 seconds a move, and they still avoid losing a piece. That's how solid computers are nowadays. That's how solid, guys. It's sick. It's sick. I don't think I could ever get it to play queen c6. Yeah, I probably couldn't get any mobile phone to play queen c6. It's sick. But I think I was onto something there with queen c6. Right, I was onto something there. I want to show it on the board here. Yeah. Queen c6. Right. Queen takes. I thought this was clever. But actually it's not even clever, is it? Because this is not even forced either. Because actually there's... No, here there's knight b6. That surely is winning material. That surely is winning material. Okay. But anyway... So that was an Alekhine game. That's why Alekhine's so good tactically. Okay, it's a simple two mover. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I think I've seen the whole thing. I've seen the entire thing. I've seen the entire thing in its entirety, in its entire beauty. I've seen the entire thing, I believe, because it's non-controversial here. Fairly non-controversial. Yeah? I'm pleased to see this. Very. Except now I've discovered that actually maybe it's not what I thought. Oh. Okay. Is it not what I thought it was? Maybe not. It's still probably, I assume, crushing, even if it's not entirely what I thought. Yes. Rook takes f6, king takes f6. I've seen something of great beauty here, which does not involve queen f3. So guess the move of great beauty, which does not involve queen f3. After rook takes f6, king takes f6. A move of exceptional beauty. Well, as far as celebrating the knight on e6 is concerned. Yeah. Yep. Queen c3. Queen c3. So rook takes f6, king takes f6, queen c3 check gives you access to g7. So king e7, queen g7, checkmate. There's no queen d4 because there's a bishop on b6, technical issue. The only thing to consider on rook takes f6 is if it can be ignored with king e7, but I think just queen takes g6. Yeah, I think rook takes f6, king e7. I think we just simply play queen takes g6. Because it seems the knight is a menace there. Black's not doing anything. On queen c3 immediately, there might be some controversy there with f5. No, hang on. f5, there's queen g7. Oh, I see. Okay, queen c3, there might be queen e7. Or, even worse, there might be rook takes e6, getting rid of our beautiful knight. And I'll be crying after that. Yeah, if that knight's lost here from the equation, that would be a tragic news item for this position. So I think rook takes f6, king takes f6, queen c3 must be the way to go to accelerate the knight. Yeah. So queen c3 offers, if you play queen c3 immediately, far too controversial. There's rook takes e6 or queen e7. The least controversial is to give up the rook. Rook takes f6, king e7. There might be stronger than queen g6, but I can't immediately grasp it. I think after queen g6 we're crushing anyway. Are we all agreed on rook takes f6 here? Yeah? We're all agreed on rook takes f6, are we? Anyone disagree with rook takes f6? Right, I think the way to go is queen c3 check here. Agree? Queen c3, more flexible than queen f3. We've got a nice diagonal to play with. I think lovely queen g7. All right, let's play the computer. The computer will find, looking at evil resources, check. Computer will just ignore this. Yeah. But I assume here, okay, rook, knight, queen, we're a bishop down. What I assume here is queen takes g6 should be sort of mating. That's desperate, isn't it? Yeah. The computer's desperate. It's so desperate. Even I can beat the computer. Yeah, from that position, because it gets desperate. Okay. Non-controversial in the extreme. Non-controversial in the extreme here. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is controversial. Hold on, hold on. Okay, there's a little finesse needed. But apart from that, it seems... Okay. I think this is okay. What do you guys think? First forcing move that springs to mind? What do you reckon? First forcing move for me that springs to mind is giving up the queen with queen takes f1. King takes, rook a1 check. Factor in bishop c1 or queen c1. In both cases we have b2, and it doesn't matter about white's pawn on b7. I would say I think white's pawn on b7 is too slow. Agree? So queen takes f1, king takes, rook a1 check. Something moves to c1, we play b2. Yeah? What do you reckon? Should we go with that? We'll go with that, yeah. Unless there's any objections. I don't think there's anything else really in the position to see of interest, of great interest. I think we'll just play B2 here. Agree with B2, anyone? Disagree? B2, if B8, we just take the queen on C1. That deflects the bishop. That, well, we're mating anyway. So B2, yeah? Okay. I think we can beat the computer on that one. Bang. Bang. Taking down the computer here. Yeah. We could eat all the material. We're eating all the material. Thanks very much. Okay. White to play. Oh, seen this immediately. I've seen it just like that. Immediate. Oh, thanks, my French. That's a funny nickname, my French. What did you have in mind with that nickname? Dare I ask? No, okay, anyway. Okay. I've seen something of great beauty here and non-controversy. I've seen something of great beauty and totally non-controversial. Myself, I hope you can all see it. Yeah. The forcing move, which is a check which stands out immediately, is rook takes g7. Now we can assume if black ignores that with king h8, we just mow on with queen takes, with rook takes h7, king g8, queen f7 checkmate. So if black takes with the knight, that gives us the opportunity to play another forcing move, queen f7 check. After king h8, you need to see in that position it's slightly awkward configuration, and there's actually a back row issue with queen f8 check, rook takes f8, and it's checkmate because the knight stranded the king in. It's a back row mate. So let's have a look. So I hope you're all with that. It's a back row mate here. Goes from 7th rank control to a back row mate. Translates into back row mate. Rook takes g7, queen f7, and we translate into a back row mate. I think we can beat the computer here. Yeah, so we can beat even the evil machine comes down. Yeah. Yeah. This is nice. This is also quite beautiful. Yeah, this is also quite beautiful. It's not about winning a piece, man. It's not about winning a piece. No, it's much crueler than that. It's going for the checkmate, this one. It's going all the way. It's going all the way to the checkmate. Was that where you use two bishops to checkmate crisscross? There was a special name for that. I'll look on Wiki. Let me identify Wiki checkmate patterns. Wiki. I'll give you the name of the checkmate. Hold on. Wiki checkmates patterns. There's a link for Wiki checkmate. I'll tell you which one it is. If you want to work backwards. Bowden's mate. Bowden's mate. There's a Bowden's mate lurking here, guys. Wasn't there? Bowden's mate. So two attacking bishops crisscrossing diagonals. Deliver mate. In one variation is a Bowden's mate. So the first forcing move, rook takes d4, knocks out e6, yeah. Queen takes d4. Queen takes e6 check. Yeah. Knight d7. So what do you see after knight d7? That's the thing. I've given the clue Bowden's mate. Yeah, rook takes d4 first. Queen takes d4. Queen takes e6. Knight d7. Bowden's mate. Clue. Bowden's mate. Rook takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes e6, knight d7. See it? Does everyone see the Bowden's mate? Or does anyone see the Bowden's mate? Does anyone see the Bowden's mate? Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing. Bang. 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 Bowden's mate. Also, it should be noted that this doesn't help because we can do bishop takes d7 and queen e8 checkmate there as well. That doesn't help. So Nimzovich against Alekhine, side variation. Wow. Nimzovich against Alekhine? Did he really have that sort of position? The computer's going to ignore all of this, isn't it? Or not? Okay. Doesn't let us play the beautiful one. Oh, pain. Well, we're winning here, so who cares? Are we winning? I think we're winning with knight b5 threatens bishop c7 checkmate. Oh no, there's queen takes f4. Okay, scrap that. Maybe bishop e5 first, queen moves, and then knight b5. This is additional hard exercise, which maybe I shouldn't try and do because it's embarrassing playing against computers. I hate computers. So anyway, that's winning anyway. Okay, in that line, I hate computers, don't want to play computers, except in totally non-controversial winning puzzles, maybe. Okay, so next one, yeah. Yeah, immediate, non-controversy, immediate. Hope you can see it. Seems to be pretty convincing. Anyone? Hope you can all see this. There's a sort of mate in two potentially. Bish bosh mate in two. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you can see the major forcing move has a short-term downside of giving up the queen, but then we checkmate after knight e4, right? I suppose you need to factor in the computer's going to avoid that like a plague. Taking on c3. Computer will avoid that. And here, well, we'll material up, so who cares? Yeah. But by the way, let me show. There was a slight update on I did yesterday on the community page. It's even less techy, the community page. I got rid of a whole load of waffly buttons which had back whatever. It uses a year, so it goes back to when it was born in 2008, this puzzle system. And you can see 12 hours, 24 hours. You can see week winners for this year. You can see where we are. It takes you to your ranking in the last 1,000 tries. So we're 36, pod 1,000 there. But you can check out any year. Say, why don't you check out 2015? Oh, I think it's pretty cool. It shows you even the week winners of 2015. And all the month winners. So say you wanted to check out a month. So I've tried to make it more competitive recently. But also you do get these puzzle icons on the play page. So I thought I'd mention that. Okay. So yeah, it looks a bit tighter than it was a few days ago, this particular page. I think. Anyway. So back to the rated puzzles. Okay. Oh, this is... Oh, okay. There's an area of concern in this puzzle for me personally. There is an area of concern here. So I'm not completely convinced. In fact, oh, now I'm starting to be convinced. Okay, I think I can literally address my area of concern. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you think about this then? Okay, okay. So I think we can all agree that there's a really crushing looking forcing move, right? With Queen takes G7, yeah? There's a really good looking forcing move, Queen takes G7. But what I'm concerned with is the evil resources the opponent might have after King takes G7. I would like to try and checkmate myself with Knight G4, discovered check, but Black is not obliged to move the King. If Black moves the King to G8, Knight takes H6 is checkmate, because we've got all the squares covered. Yeah. However, after Queen takes G7, King takes Knight G4 check, there is Queen E5 or Knight E5. However, that's my area of concern. I think I knock it out myself with the sequence Queen G7, King G7, Knight takes D7. Now, if Black wants to play Queen E5, it's a lot of material loss. If Black then plays King G8, we go back with Knight F6. Oh, hang on. There's King F7 there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Knight D5. Oh, I could be wrong. Yeah, this is confusing me now. Queen G7, King G7, Knight D7, check. King G8, Knight F6. There's King F7, because if there was King, even King H8, there's Knight G4 check. King G8, Knight H6, but there's King F7, which means in that position I'm not convinced anymore, except for Knight D5 check maybe. So yeah. Okay, my solution is provisionally Queen takes G7, King takes, Knight takes D7 check, even though it affords Black the luxury of King G8, Knight F6 check, King F7, because here I think there's Knight D5 discovered check, and if King E7, Knight takes C7. Okay, so let's have a look at this other stuff then. Queen G7, King take. You're saying Knight F7 discovered check. Alright. Yeah. That would seem to be winning a piece, yeah. Maybe you're right, yeah. Maybe they're both winning. Alright, so are we all agreed Queen takes Did someone say Rook F7? Someone said Rook F7. Oh, there might be G5. Hang on. G5 on Rook F7. Knight takes D7, there's Queen takes G3. So, are we all agreed the first move looks as though aesthetically it's fantastic? Should we go with Queen takes G7 first? Yeah? Everyone agree? We're going to try Queen takes G7 first? Shall we? Yeah? We're all agreed Queen takes G7, yeah? We'll go over that. Queen takes G7. Right. It's here. I'm not 100% sure. Knight F7, as pointed out, might have something to it. Knight G4 check runs into, literally, Knight Queen E5 to sort of blunt the attack by getting rid of some of the attacking pieces. Yeah, Knight G4 check, Queen E5. Because then if, Queen E5, it takes away some of the attack. Unfortunately. However, knight g4 check, isn't it still kind of winning anyway? Either, or knight f7 is still, or even knight takes d7. All three moves seem okay. Even here, knight takes d7 check. The thing is with knight takes d7 check, it disables queen e5, yeah? So we're just delaying it by a bit because king g8, there's knight f6 check. But that does introduce into the equation king f7. So I don't know. So what do you want to vote for here? Scream out what you want to vote for. Say what you want to vote for. Knight f7, knight takes d7, or knight g4. Those are the three choices. I'm going to just type them as commas. You want to vote for knight takes d7 check, or knight g4 check, or knight f7 check. Which one? I don't see anything wrong particularly with. I don't see anything wrong with any of the three, to be honest. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with any of the three. Knight takes d7, disables queen e5, but the snag is, the downside there, the cost there is king g8, knight f6 check. There's king f7. Can't escape from that fact. Can't escape from that fact. Knight f7 allows knight d7 to f6. Alright, then if bishop f6, we have king takes f7. If rook takes f6, okay, what do you want to vote for? I've given you the choice of three. Tell me what you want to vote for. Okay, I'll try my move first. Yeah, I'm going to try knight takes d7 first, I think. Do I want to try it first? I'm going to try it first. Knight takes d7. Alright, well apparently it's good enough anyway. I thought here knight f6. The only snag I thought was king f7, because if king g7 we're back to square one without any queen e5. So knight f6 we're just back with interest. King g7, knight g4 check, mating. Because king g8 there's knight takes h6, mate. So knight f6, the snag is king f7. But then I thought there's knight d5 check there. And in fact we're winning further material. So knight, actually the more I look at it now, you know, knight f6 check, king f7 isn't such a big deal because of knight d5 check. King moves back, knight takes c7. We're actually forking the rook and the bishop. It's not such a big deal issue actually, king f7, looking at it here, as I first might have thought. So knight f6. I think just knight d5 not only wins the queen, but it also stops king e7. And it pushes the king away from the rook and bishop, which means knight takes c7 is more effective because we're forking the rook and bishop. Now let's have a look at these various things, because I'm sure they're all pretty good, to be honest. So the computer's going to find the most evil resources going, yeah. Let's have a look. Knight f7. Knight e5. And I guess it's going to sack the queen, yeah? What's the situation here? It's not entirely clear-cut, this position. Unless I've done this wrong, this doesn't look entirely clear-cut with 3 pieces against 3 pieces. So I'm not sure what you want me to play here. What do you want me to play here? This is on my own site. I don't know if anyone knew I had a site yet. It's a top secret site. It's only totally top secret. I don't usually stream with my own site. I don't know. I've been keeping it this gigantic secret. Yeah. Which maybe is not a good idea commercially, because it's supposed to be a commercial chess site. You can register with this link, and I will invite you for some tournaments as well. If you like turnstile chess, it's bonus. If you like, it's a specialist turnstile chess site, but we do have a puzzle section, which I thought might be interesting for streaming as a total experiment. It seems to be having some popularity here. I think my view about streaming serious stuff or interesting intellectual stuff has changed recently. So I know this is a change from bullet chess, but I think it was ever since I saw Selvan streaming, I thought, hang on, he's even older than me. That means I can stream what I want. I can stream the most boring, tedious stuff. I can spend like 3 years trying to solve a puzzle. Some people out there on Twitch might appreciate it. Yeah, so that's cool. So anyway, yeah. But anyway, look here. I don't know how this is winning. Yeah, I don't know how this is non-controversially winning. Yeah. Tell me. This is the issue. I thought either knight e5. I thought even queen e5. he does sometimes. Yeah. And if we go with knight g4 again, it just runs into this. Yeah, the computer's going to be pain about this. It's a big penalty to play this position. It's only 3 pieces against 3 pieces. So I think we take out of the equation this queen e5 business. We only delay. The only downside that creeps in here is king f7, but it's not really a downside, is it? We just play knight d5. It's not really a big deal. You see that? The thing is, yeah, knight g4 is not working there because we don't win the queen. Yeah, so we go for the queen there. Yeah, okay. I think we've thrashed this one about. Sometimes we've thrashed. I think we've thrashed that one about. Okay, let's go to the next one. I can see. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm changing move order now. I saw something, then I changed move order to make it more effective just immediately. I changed move order. Oh, is it? To be honest, the site has this dark theme was influenced, might be influenced by some other sites which have dark themes. Yeah, I think sites influence each other. Yeah, I think there's a genetical survival of the fittest going on with websites trying to sort of imitate what they find attractive, which they can do. I think they take account their own strong points in terms of programming, but I think generally they're attracted to each other's like what they find attractive, and evolution occurs. So this whole dark style didn't exist till about 2-3 years ago as well, by the way. It's usually much brighter than this. This is dark theme if you're interested. You can actually change the entire theme of the site. I'll show you after this. Switch around move order, man. Switch around move order. Yeah, if you got this right. No, which I think you have got it right with that move order. You see, a disastrous move order could involve a certain forcing a move, which doesn't work at all. Now, a less than disastrous move order might actually win the position. Now, I'll see. Initially, yes, I did observe a disastrous move order, which was involving rook e8 check, because I thought queen takes initially, queen f6, but then of course black just plays rook takes h6. So we have to get the queen and the bishop coordinating on g7 without losing all the pieces. So it seems actually shocking, but yeah, the first move is slightly shocking, but it does seem to work. Queen takes c6. Queen takes c6. Ah. No. I don't even look on the queen side. Where's the queen side? Where the hell's the this half of the board? It doesn't exist usually. Queen side doesn't even exist. Yeah, it's only when you doesn't it? King side is the action here. Surely, the king side. Look, black has this iconically weak. I can say that to you after looking at several iconic master games recently, that a lot of them have this lowest common denominator of a fianchetto bishop missing. Magic happens when a fianchetto bishop is missing. Yeah. Magic happens here because actually there's two issues to juggle here, right? You know, it's not just the fact that black is weak around his king. He's got disconnection issues. His whole back row seems to have natural inbuilt interference. This is like interference. There's interference as well, and there's weak dark squares. This is a total recipe for disaster, where you can get black to juggle both these issues, the interference on the first rack, the back row, and the dark squares. So there's a move which pierces both issues simultaneously. And also the fact that the queen on d8 is not protected by anything. So I hope you've all seen this move. It has been mentioned, I think, but I hope you can all calculate it. Yeah. So that first move, yeah, it's been mentioned again. Yeah, it's shocking, but queen f6, yeah, it threatens mate on g7. I don't think there's too much of a defense there because of that mate threat. If queen takes f6, we have rook e8 checkmate. Now let's have a look. Knight e6, that does defend g7. It does defend the queen. I think we do simply just take on d8, knight takes d8, and play rook e8 checkmate. So queen f6, knight e6, good try, but still not enough because of queen takes d8, knight takes d8, rook e8. So we're all agreed. Queen f6. The computer might. I suspect the computer would play rook takes h6 to allow queen takes d8 check, king g7. And how would we stuff the computer as effectively as possible there? Maybe just rook e8 and just take on a8 and say we're rook up. So let's go with queen f6. All right, let's beat the computer as well now. Even worse, we're going to beat the computer. Yeah, I knew it. It would do that. And I play rook e8. I'm going to stuff this computer as well. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm a rook up here. I'm a rook up. I'm just going to take these guys, and that's simple enough. Rook up. Thanks very much. Okay. Well, this is pretty straightforward. Oh, there's nothing to see here, guys. Sorry. It's straightforward. I hope you all see it without exception. All 80 of you should see this combination. Please all see this combination. It's just a forcing move which springs to mind immediately. It pops out like Captain Pop-Up of popping out in the film Pop-Up. It's popping out. it's popping out. Okay, the forcing move that pops out is, yeah, Queen G2. There's only Rook G2, and there's after FG it happens that there's no escape squares for the king, it's checkmate. I think we'll even checkmate the computer on this one. Checkmate. Yes, let's checkmate the computer just for fun. A sanity check. I can even do it coming down the board. I'll do it coming down the board as my neat trick, without even flipping the board. But let's flip the board and do it flipping the board as well. Queen G2. Yeah, FG is checkmate. The bishop's cutting. The rook's cutting. No escape squares. The bishop's blocking in the king. Okay. This looks like from an Alexander Alekhine game. I think it was against a British player, George Thomas or something. I think I might have got a video on this game. I think I've got a video on this game. Yeah, I think it's Alekhine against George Thomas or someone else against the British, but might not be. It's against one of the Brit. I believe maybe that tennis player. Does anyone recognise the Alekhine game out of interest? I'll be interested to know if you recognise the Alekhine game. I've done a video on this game. Yeah, no, I've seen it as well. The whole thing, the entire thing. It takes out any issues which might potentially occur. It's self-cleaning combination. Cleans out the defensive resources as well. Quite cute, like a vacuum cleaner. Anyone recognise the Alekhine game? Alright, so what do you reckon the first move is here? What do you reckon the first move is here? Alright, queen takes knight, f takes, bishop takes. We have to, I suppose, technically factor in rook f5 there. But let's imagine we don't. King h8, knight g6 check. King h7. We can snap off the rook with the idea of removing any defensive resource. So knight takes f8. Where am I with the pieces? King h8, knight g6, king h7, knight takes f8 check, king h7. Knight takes, queen takes, f takes, bishop takes, king h8, knight g6, king h7, knight takes f8, king h8, knight g6, king h7. In that position, there's a mate in 2 now. Can you see the mate in 2 in that position? On queen takes e4, bishop takes f1, we play, I think, knight takes f5, and that's winning for white. Alright, so this is from an Alekhine game, it's cool. Queen takes e4, we play bishop takes e4, we play knight g6. We get rid of this defensive rook, because we'll need to have f7 soon. So we take the rook, we take some time to take the rook off. We go knight. Hang on, let's just make sure of this. Yeah, we go knight g6 check. Now here there's a mate in 2. Can you see the mate in 2? White's play here. Yeah, 95 and 97. See, we've cleared out the rooks, so there's no rook f7. That's what I mean. It's like a vacuum cleaner. It takes away all the defensive resources. If that rook was an f8, you know, it'd be rook f7, yeah? So knight e5 check and then knight f7. There's no rook f8. Just to show that, I'll just show that. So this is an Alekhine game against Fletcher, which I have got a video on, by the way. If you YouTube, I'm sure I could find it. Alekhine Fletcher. I quite enjoyed this one. He's got some wonderful magical games. Kasparov was a fan of Alekhine. If you want to check out the video of how that position arose, actually I did have 435 likes on that video back in 2013, 4 years ago. Here's a link. I had over 400 likes, 25,000 views. I couldn't have annotated it that badly. There's an ad though. I just want to skip the ad, which is a chess. Let me just see. That is the same game. This could have been even a. This looks already. So black's really playing e takes f6 within all Fletcher. Also thing. Okay, bit of culture there. Okay, let's go to the next one. Or play the computer. Just quickly play the computer here. Yes, it does that horrible thing. I think we play knight f5. Now, I hope we're still winning here. Is this right? I've just blundered my queen. How embarrassing. Crikey. I'm struggling. I hate computers. I hate them. Too resourceful. Oh, I've just lost. Oh, jeez. Oh, crikey. Let's see how the computer would handle it after bishop takes f1. Let's change sides for a moment. Give a non-move. How would the computer handle it? Are you kidding me? Let's go 10 seconds move. Are you going to play queen e4 or not? Come on. Yes. And what do you play after bishop f1 then? Horrible machine. What do you play? Do you play knight f5 or bishop takes f1? Oh, crikey. Just takes there. That's the best way. So that's the best way. It leaves the pressure on f5. Not too keen to take on f5 immediately. Okay, that's just trivia, right? That's just trivia. Okay, so anyway, yeah, all right. Okay, this is another Alekhine game, which has, I consider, a wonderful it's a wonderful thing to it. It's getting the move order. I know the Alekhine game. It's just getting the move order, even though I know the Alekhine game. Yeah. I think I know the move order as well. I think. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Possibly. Yeah. Okay. It's a really naughty. No, not naughty. It's a really incredible Alekhine's tactical ability. If you haven't seen this Alekhine game before, I actually doubt anyone will see the tactic. I really doubt it. If you haven't seen this tactic, you won't see it. You just simply won't see it. You just won't see the sequence. It's just impossible. I can start to give you clues, though. This is good. I know something you guys don't then about this. It's just knowledge. It's just knowledge. It's not calculation. It's just because I've seen it and I was stunned by it. It's a knowledge exercise for me. It's not really, it's naughty. It's from another kind of game. It's actually kind of ridiculous as well. It's just like a disaster of, I don't know, the particular configuration in terms of tempos. It turns out to be a total disaster for black. Tempos marrying with taking away escape squares. It's very hard to describe, actually. I can give you a. Does anyone want more clues from me? Do you want to know? Do you want to try and guess the first move? I think I know what the first move is. Actually, I'm not entirely sure what the first move is. No, I'm not actually. Hang on. No, I'm hoping I know what the first move is. I hope I know what the first move is. I think to simplify it, do you want the first move anyway? Should we play the first move, which I believe is the first move? Should I put the first move on the board to get to the next position? Because I don't think anyone's going to get this, really, without going to the exact position. Alright, the first move is pretty forcing, right? It's pretty forcing if you have the belief that actually, and this has been said even by GMs, it might be wrong, you know. GMs have said you first look at checks. Not always, actually. You first look at how you can threaten mate. That can be equivalent or more powerful than calculating checks. Can you imagine that bit of generic advice, if it's inaccurate, is affecting the tactical capabilities of thousands and thousands of chess players when they say look at checks first, when actually often in puzzles which are often from real games, threatening a mate in one is often of equal priority to playing a check. Yeah? So how could you threaten the mate in one? to get you to see the first move, how do you threaten a mate in 1? So G6. Would you say G6 is more powerful than any check? The check here causes the king to evacuate, yeah? You don't want the king necessarily to evacuate, yeah? Well, so G6, I think, is the first move from memory. And it's not. There's another move which threatens a mate in 1, which is the same as G6. It's actually equivalent to G6, which threatens a mate in 1. Which is, it's another way of threatening a mate in 1. We're trying to say that threatening a mate in 1 is equal or more than playing a check. Yes, it's shocking. I think G6, as far as I can calculate, should be good for white. But anyway, no, this other one apparently is stronger, or the move that was played in the game. Yeah, yeah. So 95, yeah, 95. It threatens Rook H8, and it means that the D5 resource is taken out of the equation. There's no D5 anymore, which is crucial now. This fact that there's no D5 actually weakens this diagonal. So how does white proceed now? It's ingenious that the entire D5 resource is taken out of the equation with this knight E5, which happens to threaten a mate in 1. So what do you play here? You're not really saying Queen C4, are you? Two people at Queen C4. I'm thinking how this could end badly if you play Queen C4 with black. Sorry, with white. Could end badly. I'll give you an example. If you played Queen C4, Queen takes C4, G6. Black has a resource there, I'm afraid. Can you see the resource black has? That you've got to rule out. Because actually I think the king can escape. I think there's a move which looks, for me, stronger than the other one. So what would you play here? G6, I'll give you the crunch question. G6 to threaten Rook H8, or would you play Queen C4? So this is crunch time now. Queen C4, which looks incredible, or G6. What do you want to play here? G6 or Queen C4? That's what I'm thinking, Zed Fox. There's Queen F1 check. Rook takes F1, then Rook E8. So if you go back to H1, there's King F8 to E7. Exactly. So I think G6. G6. But are you all seeing G6? The point? Queen takes E5? Queen takes E5? Yeah, just Queen G6. So G6, right, threatens this mate in 1. Yeah. And on Queen takes G6, what would you play to take away the F7 escape square? It's about taking away the key f7 escape square at that point. After g6, queen takes g6. How would you take away the escape square f7? I honestly think it's almost a diabolical probability, this whole position Alekhine had, to have this resource knight e5. It's just shocking that this kind of thing exists. Yeah. I'll go with g6. Yeah. And then we want to take away the downside of rook h8 check again is exposed because of king f7. So we want to take away that downside. So we want to block up the f7 exit route. So we play the move. So what do we play here? The move. Everyone should be crying out this move. What do we play here? Come on, let's just finish this now. What do we play here? Yeah. Queen c4. Because there's no d5. He knocked out d5. When he played knight e5, he knocked out d5. In this final position, if rook f7, we just mate now. There's no escape. Now, I'm concerned. I didn't remember this accurately, so it was knight e5 immediately on g6. I thought this was interesting as well. Oh, the computer takes too much material, guys. With queen takes h5, the evil computer takes too much material, and it's not convincing at all, actually, because it's quite a lot of material here. Yeah, left without any material. So Alekhine's continuation is super duper accurate. Yeah, the move order here of knight e5 immediately is super duper accurate, because now we play g6. See, Alekhine can beat the computers because he plays super accurate attacking chess. He doesn't lose all his material with g6. He doesn't lose all his material with g6. He's like, even if his opponents were computer-like, he'd beat them because he'd play the right move order, basically. He wouldn't play g6 with knight e5, which would allow the evil queen takes h5. No, he plays super duper accurate with knight e5 first. Threatening mate. Yeah, threatening mate. Blocking up f7. Thanks very much. Well. Okay, so what's this about? What is this about when it's at home? If I've seen this before, I've totally forgotten what it's about. All right, thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I was totally up the wrong garden path. I was totally in the wrong garden. I was in the wrong ballpark. I think someone has crushed it immediately. I wanted to create a gigantic downside in the continue. Hands up, I'm going to be totally honest. I was wasting time checking d5. d5 with the idea of bishop b4 is pointless anyway, because there's always knight c3 or bishop d2. There's a totally different, more critical diagonal, as well as preventing any check, which is this diagonal as pointed out, not this one. So choice of got the whole diagonal wrong when I was checking out d5. For some reason I'm attracted to winning the queen sneakily, but just queen takes the, I couldn't get that working. Bishop d6, it's totally wrong. d5. This diagonal is fatal here. So hope you've all seen the move that was suggested. Yep, very good, very good. So this is the key diagonal, not this one. I don't know if there's a more generic lesson there. The question, do I have the right diagonal? I don't know, it didn't occur to me, do I have the right diagonal? I was just looking at this one. This fundamentally is not, it's almost a form of Boden's mate. You know Boden's mate? It's almost a form of Boden's mate, the queen acting as a bishop. So it's a Boden's mate pattern. It's a crisscross. Wasn't there a film called Crisscross by Hitchcock? No, was that, there was a film called Crisscross where they had to murder each other's relatives. Am I right? The Crisscross rings a bell with an Alfred Hitchcock film. There is a film called Crisscross. On a bit of movie trivia, yeah. Hitchcock, Crisscross. Yeah, there's definitely a film. Because if we're going to talk about Boden's mates, oh, Strangers on a Train. Sorry, yeah. No, if you haven't seen Strangers on a Train, it's a really good one. They talk about crisscross murder, right? Okay. Strangers on the Train, yeah, that's the one. Sorry, it's that. Okay, Boden's. It's a form of Boden's mate. Because the bishop is like the queen here, and we just need the other bishop, crisscross. So bishop e7. Boden's mate is on the mate patterns page of Wiki. If you want to check Boden's mate, check out these mate patterns, and you'll see Boden's mate. So bishop e7, and that crisscross, bishop h4. The light and the dark squares are dominated, causing the checkmate. So what does the computer gives up is queen, I suppose. Computer gives up, does something weird. Queen c6 or something. Oh, gives up the queen, yeah. We're going to win from there anyway. We're going to win from that. That's cool. Snakes on the Plane is one of... I missed it. Unfortunately, the reviews got to me before even seeing Snakes on the Plane. I think I didn't see it. It wasn't one of his best thingies. It wasn't one of his best. He did a lot of films. It wasn't one of his best. Okay. Apparently, I didn't even see it though. That's a bit judgmental because I didn't see it. Okay. I can see something which evaporates the pawn structure. I think I'm on the right route myself this time round. Yeah, I think I'm on the right route. Yeah, am I on the right route? I think I might be, because there's an element of pawn chain undermining which I like. I'm excited by pawn chain undermining in any case. So this has an element of pawn chain undermining. If queen c3, you get mated, by the way, minus 10,000 points. You get mated to queen takes h2 checkmate. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but queen c3 doesn't seem... Queen takes h2 checkmate. Sorry, no. If anyone's thinking queen c3, please. I know it's attractive, but it's not that attractive, is it? There's queen takes h2. Checkmate. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. E takes f7. Again, minus 10,000 points. E takes f7. There's queen takes h2. Checkmate. I think I've seen this before anyway. This is like cheating. I've seen this before. Someone posted the entire line. Yeah, that rings a bell. I think you could exchange queen c2 with queen d3, can't you? It's the same thing. Can you? ECF 200. Can you exchange queen c2 with queen d3? I'm hoping you can. I've been looking at queen d3. I don't think there's any difference. Yeah, we're sort of undermining the pawn chain. We're dismantling the pawn chain as well. I like these when the pawn chains are dismantled. So yeah, if we can take out the entire pawn chain around the king with rook takes f7, which takes out g6 next. After rook takes f7, we can play bishop takes g6, check. And then on king g8, there's e takes f7. It's all running with check. And then it's just brutal, actually. Yeah. Because then there's e takes f7, king f8, f takes e8, checkmate, double checkmate. And on the other hand, if rook f7, bishop g6, the king's brought out to play with either queen c2 or queen d3. Now if king g5, there's bishop c1, maybe. Okay, so are we all agreed with rook takes f7? Does anyone disagree with rook takes? For me, it's undermining. It's natural to undermine pawn chains. Rook takes f7. Maybe that's a tactical M positional thing, like pins are tactical M positional. The same with undermining pawn chains. They seem to have the same level of robustness, tactical and positional switching between undermining pawn chains or pinning. The rook takes f7 is devastation, isn't it? It's devastation. On king g8, there's rook g7 check, king h8, rook takes g6 check, knight f6, rook takes g4, queen takes g4, queen h6. And let's have a look at that again. Rook takes f7, king g8, no, hang on. Yeah, rook g7, king h8, rook takes g6, knight d f6, rook takes g4, parries mate, queen takes g4, queen takes h6. Okay, are we all agreed on rook takes f7 before we examine the possible idea of king g8? Rook takes f7 surely is the first move here. Would anyone disagree? We're going to play rook takes g7, yeah? We're going to play rook takes g7. Rook takes f7. f7. We'll check with the computer after on king move. So we're going to draw the king out now, undermining the pawn chain with bishop takes g6, yeah? Now, I think either queen c2 or d3 probably are about the same thing here. They seem to be about the same level of whatever effectiveness. Queen d3 is more central, so I'm biased towards more central. If we ordered by most central, here, queen d3 as my bias central. King g5, there's bishop c1. Rook f4, there's queen f5. Checkmate there, exploiting the pin. On king, there's no king h5 because we've got knight on g3. So queen d3 appears to be mating. King g5, bishop c1, rook f4, queen f5. Queen d3 appears to be mating, guys. Queen d3 appears to be mating. I'm going to play it. Probably c2 is the same. I think c2 must be the same. So we play bishop c1 here. Hang on. There's a snag with bishop c1. There's king f6. Yeah, there's a snag. Yeah, there's a big one. Big snag is the king would escape. Now we've got to keep the escape squares we've created cut off without getting the king back here. I think there's another move, yeah, which is good for that, keeping our hard-won cutting of escape squares intact here. Yeah, on bishop c1 there's king f6, right? King f6, queen f5, king f7, queen f7. It's not entirely ideal because on bishop c1, king f6, queen f5, king e7, queen f7, there's king d6 or king d8. Isn't there an easy way just to checkmate here with knight e4 check? Knight e4 check. Example, king g6, there's knight f6 check. King g7, queen h7 check. King f8, queen takes f7 is checkmate. Doesn't knight e4 keep that bishop on b2 cutting escape squares? Knight e4 check. Yeah, bishop c1, rook f5, f4, queen f5 is mate. But the problem with bishop c1 is king f6. King f6. Knight e4 seems to be so... Isn't knight e4 just non-controversial? Knight e4 check, king f5, knight f6 check. Knight e4 check, king g6, there's knight f6 check. There's nothing but king g7, queen h7, king moves, queen f7. Oh, right, I see. King h5. Oh. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Knight e4 allows king h5. It's a good point. I'm glad someone mentioned that. Okay. I was getting carried away there. So it has to be bishop c1 then. So what we're saying, bishop c1, king f6, queen f5, king e7. We can scoop up the rook. Oh, hang on. Queen takes, yeah, king d6. We got knight f5 check, winning the queen. We got knight f5 check after winning the queen. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat enough. I'm convinced. Totally. Bishop c1. Alright, it's not even testing that. Okay. We'll just take with this. Just take with this. Yeah, I think it's neat enough. Okay, sorry about that. I think I got carried away with knight e4, yeah. That was, you see, that's principles have no bearing on tactics. It's whatever works. I just thought there was a certain principle there, but wasn't about keeping the bishop for a moment. It's whatever really works, isn't it? As effectively as possible in that particular configuration. Yeah. So we have the check, bishop c1. So 94, yeah, pointing out that's a pain, isn't it? I would have really messed things up there. I would have really messed things up there. So bishop c1 check. Yeah, so if here, there was a delicious one here, I've just spotted, by the way, that there's knight f5 check, winning the queen. So that leaves also another thing about this position is just to check out briefly, is this one? Oh, there's queen takes d7. Checkmate. Okay, let's play the computer on that note then. I should be able to beat the computer in all variations if this is right. If this is devastating enough. The computer's going in for this. Yeah, okay, we should be able to beat the computer from here even. Okay, cool. Yeah, well done, well done. I got carried away somehow with this clinging onto principles, which is related to trying to learn something from experience, which is maybe wrong when you're solving puzzles, because it's really maybe whatever works. Yeah, the lines are more important. You're right. Yeah, the lines, because it's we're talking about a very specific configuration. So maybe say goodbye to principles. It's get to the lines that work. Yeah, it's whatever works, isn't it? I think that's what it means then. All the lines, Nakamura. Yeah, all the lines. Yeah, the lines are more important than the principles. Right. What about King G8? Right, while we're still here. Okay, let's have a look. Where was this King G8? Oh, around about. No, there we just make with Bishop B2, right? Was it around here? I think we're just. Actually, we can play this first. Yeah, and then we can just take off everything. Yeah, we're going to drag this knight back and then E7 or something. After, what about, sorry, King G8 after Rook takes F7. Sorry, I'm not sure where this is. Is this in the knight E3 line? Where is this? In the beginning. Oh yeah, yeah, sorry, you said King G8. Alright, let's play the computer. I thought Rook G7. I thought Rook G6 because we got a check. But maybe I'm wrong. Alright, let's play the computer on that one. I don't think the computer's going to let us play King G8 though. I'll try and disable the computer a bit. Would it ever play King G8? No. Alright, I'll change sides and flip the board and let the computer play bang, and I'll play King G8. So Rook G7. So it takes their... It's a seesaw check. That's vicious, isn't it? So it will be seesawing check if I go back here, taking all the material. Oh, that's checkmate there. And if I hadn't seesawed the check, right, initially, if we go back here, if I played knight f6, it just takes there. There's no mate threat there. And if I had played rook f6, h3. It just plays h3. h3. All right. Okay, and if I take here, it probably takes on g4. Oh, it takes on f6 because there's queen h6. All right. There's a queen h6 there. Okay. And if I went here, then it takes on... Okay, it's pretty convincing there. Okay. White to play. Oh, I think my brain's fried on this now. Okay, I think I need to lie down after looking at this position, or whatever we've looked at anyway up until here. Oh. I think I'm on strike now. My mental resources are gone. Yeah. Okay, so you guys try and solve it without any help from me. So D takes C7, you reckon? D takes C7 or B takes C8? B takes C8 is also, I don't know, interesting maybe. Or is it D takes C7? B takes C8, check. Or bishop takes A7, check. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. No, maybe not, okay. I think I'm done after this. I really am. I feel I've got to go and watch TV after this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this session. Yeah, 1 fun, 10 boring if you want to quickly vote. But I'm done after this. My brain is, yeah, I've got to go and watch TV. If you want to quickly vote. But yeah, we'll try and solve this first. D takes C7. Okay, so there's only 2 move choices: rook takes or bishop takes. So you're saying rook takes C7, bishop takes A7, king takes A7. Oh yes, B8 queens. So therefore, yes, that's a good point. So therefore, after D takes C7, bishop takes C7 actually is check there, by the way. D takes C7, bishop takes C7 is check to the white king. if we go bishop takes a7, king takes a7. Oh, okay. So what do you reckon here then? Bishop takes. I can verify. I can try and verify for you. Bishop takes. King takes. B takes. These with a knight. Yeah. Okay. All right. Should we punt some? Bishop takes a7. That's not the correct move. It saves the whole lot of thing. It's not the correct move. Okay. I have to point out here that the move d7 seems, you know, very forcing. You know, the move d7 seems very forcing to me because, yeah, I mean, what? How does black? Yeah, that's my question as well. Caligula. He was one of the more naughty Roman emperors, wasn't he, Caligula? No. Anyway, aside from that, yeah, D7. I don't know what it's answered by. D7. How is D7 answered by? By what? What do you play to D7? If d7, you know, for example, rook takes c2, b takes c8 mate, double checkmate. Rook takes d7, b takes c8, double checkmate. Yeah, d7, rook takes d7, rook takes c8, or b takes c8 mate. D7, you're saying, oh, queen f4 check, king h1. King h1? Or queen e5, king h1. So what's the deal with d7, queen f4? What about just king h1? What's the deal there? Isn't it still good? Apparently it's not bishop takes a7. By the way, we've ruled that out by trying it. Should we try d7? D7. Does anyone have an objection to d7? Is there some refutation of it? For dead faults, let's have a look at d7. Yeah, it's the move. It's the move. Let's play. It's an Alekhine game against Goffmeister. Alekhine against Goffmeister. Let's try this against the computer then. So d7. That's how desperate the computer is. Oh, it was desperate for a check there. Okay. It's desperate for another check. I can beat the computer here. I can beat the computer. There's no stalemate. The computer's got a pawn on f6. Against what? Rook takes b7. Oh, okay. The line. Okay. Let's see. Bishop takes a7. What was the idea here? What was the idea here? What was the move here? You want to suggest? Promote to a knight. Oh, we can only promote to a queen, I'm afraid. sorry, the interface doesn't allow it on this. But anyway, rook takes c8. Now what? Look, imagine it was taken anyway. What do you play here? Agree, this is not mating, yeah, it's not mating. Because rook b7, the king's going to just munch the oh, we are busted because, okay, let's just, okay, let's see. So, what are we doing here? Instead of bishop takes a7, what do you want to check out? You want to check out, tell me something else to check out. D takes c7, bishop takes c7 check. And then what? It's apparently in black's favour. We got a -2485. Apparently that's in black's favour. It's check. What do we do here? It's check. If we take, oh, it's check. The thing is, it's check. If we play rook takes c7, check, and king takes. Oh, I see the clever point though you were trying to make. That on rook takes, there's bishop takes a7 and b8. I see. Oh, I see. Yeah. So on rook takes, there's a clever point of bishop takes a7, king takes b8. Yeah. All right, but apparently, yeah, just king takes here. Okay. So just king takes the check first, and then king takes. So all in all, it seems d7. I don't know why that was elusive. Was this slightly elusive to some people? It was a massive pieces over here. I think it causes me yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's that desperate. It doesn't want to do anything apart from that. Let's go with, does it still come up with queen g3? It's that bad, is it? No, it's even worse. Queen g2. Can we get it to like, okay, to sort of 0? Yeah. Oh, come off it. Okay, things are that bad. Okay. On that note, I'm going now. Okay, thanks. All right. Yep. Cheers then. Okay. Another time. You can try, remember my site link if you want to register. It's on play menu, puzzles, rated puzzles. You can get a few every day if you want. Or if you become a full member, that would be really cool. That would be cool. Yeah, for my okay. Thanks. Cheers, mate. Cheers then. Thanks so much.